and that stuff follows you around everywhere, and that's what prison's like.
Wow.
It's all the bullies from every school together on the oval. Lived on park benches. I had to steal food just to survive, and I remember stealing food from the grocery store and then just cooking it on a barbecue to eat. Yeah, you can't outgrow a circle that you're standing in the middle of. So I started buying a lot of online courses, just trying to create an income outside of the 9 to 5, and eventually something worked after many things that didn't work and lots of money lost, and from there things changed. I created a decent income, traveled around the world, experienced a lot of things, and now we're here.
Welcome back to another episode of Lessons Beyond the Classroom with me, Mr Hodge, and today I've got a special guest. So can you introduce yourself, your name, where are you from, and what is your story?
Yeah, my name is Brodie Nitro. I'm from Australia on the Gold Coast, and my story is one of, I guess, a rags to riches journey in a way. I came from a broken home. Parents broke up when I was 2. I was taken away from my mum at the age of 10, moved in with my father, ran away at 16, lived on park benches. I had to steal food just to survive, and I remember stealing food from the grocery store and then just cooking it on a barbecue eat. Actually, I stole a whole chicken once and I got 2nd-degree burns on my waistline.
From what?
A whole chicken, barbecue chicken from the shop.
To put it in your, oh my God.
And I got burnt. Anyway, I had to eat, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And then I got mixed up in all kinds of stuff anyway, and I had some pretty terrible role models, and I think I was just seeking, love and significance from people, because I couldn't get it from my dad at home. So then I looked up to the wrong people, and I ended up in prison for a few years and solitary confinement for a long time. And then I got out and I started just working normal jobs, but I always struggled being told what to do, I think. And I think it was just because I had an entrepreneurial spirit. So I started buying a lot of online courses, just trying to create an income outside of the 9 to 5, and eventually something worked after many things that didn't work and lots of money lost, and from there things changed. I created a decent income, traveled around the world, experienced a lot of things, and now we're here.
Wow. I think a few things that jump out to me is that we've got in common, and Paddy has got in common, is the not liking being told what to do. Travel. And entrepreneurial mindset, and knowing that we are capable of more things than doing a job.
Yes.
So I would say we definitely have that in common.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a lovely introduction. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, perfect.
So we've only met in the last few days, and through a friend of a friend, and it's been great meeting you. I only know a little bit about your business and surface level, but I know that from speaking to Paddy, you're a very successful businessman, and from the conversations we've had the last few days. But I would love to dig a bit deeper into where you've come from and what was your lowest point. So you've just mentioned it a little bit, but maybe tell us, and you can speak freely as well.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Right.
What was maybe your lowest point?
So it was one of my last court cases, and by this stage I'd been let out on bail, and I was coming to court, but my co-accused, who was my best friend, he was still inside, and it was the day that we were going to get found not guilty, and he committed suicide in his cell, and he left a note and said, I know that we're going to get released, but I just don't know how to live a normal life, and I don't want to keep coming back to jail. So I went to court, and there was just an empty seat next to me where he'd always be. And then we had the wake. I don't know how many days after it was, where you celebrate his life or whatever, and people were kind of getting on drugs and stuff there, and I did.
Was it just a crazy crowd, was it?
Yeah, crazy crowd that I'd kind of moved away from after being out of jail, and that just threw me for a 6, and then I ended up, a lot of people don't know me. I did another stint in prison after that, and that was probably my lowest point. Was I just felt like I was just a junkie, to be honest, for a period there. So yeah,
that's insane. I've not lived that life, so it's so hard for me to even picture it. But it's just insane even hearing that story, that your mate, what you had to do with that, and then going back to prison again. How'd you deal with that? What did you do to deal with that?
I had to hit rock bottom to turn my life around, because I was so disgusted in the man that I'd become. When I look myself in the mirror and I'm just I'm so skinny, I'm a junkie, I'm not tough, I'm not a scary guy, I'm just I just felt worthless. That time I didn't get involved in any prison politics. I mind my own business. I didn't want to make any friends, and I just trained every day, trained. And I read the book Shantaram, which was a really inspiring book for me to read about this guy who escapes prison and moves to India, and it made me like want to travel.
I thought you were going to say it made you want to escape prison.
No way. I could have got out much sooner the second time, but I didn't want to go to court. I didn't want to get lawyered up. I actually wanted to stay there till I got clean. And I changed my life after that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you think the main thing then was just your perspective shifted, and you, instead of maybe, I don't want to say like feeling sorry for yourself, instead of that you were like, I'm going to do something about it?
Yeah, I'm going to do something about it. I don't respect the man that I am right now, and I can't live with someone I don't respect, because you spend 24 hours with yourself, and if you don't like yourself, how do you expect anyone else to? And also a lot of the people that I had admired that kind of molded me to become that version of myself that was going into prison, I no longer admired those people anymore, because I've seen that they'd lost everything, all the money that they'd made, they lost that, they lost their girlfriends, like they were no longer that cool person to look up to, and I realized that that's a pattern, and I need to, coming to prison is a pretty poor career choice, so yeah.
What's it really like being in prison? Like,
it probably depends. Everybody's journey is going to be different, because there's going to be someone who goes to prison and has a terrible run, and they just get picked on, or it depends on when you go to a unit. It depends who's running the unit at that time. Sometimes they're easier to get along with than other times. It also depends on nationality, what nationality you are, what unit you get put in, what's the majority there, and your journey you could go there, have a great time, you've got a lot of friends, and you get mixed up in politics, and you're the reason why a few people don't have a good time, and then you go to another prison, and that person that maybe you picked on, now they've got all the friends, and you're alone. And that stuff follows you around everywhere, and that's what prison's like.
Wow. It's a bit like the school playground on a maximum on steroid scale.
It's all the bullies from every school together on the oval.
That is my worst, scariest nightmare. I think I'd die in prison. I don't think I would make it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, how do you get out of that? So you've talked a little bit about it, but what's been the biggest turning point on the journey for anyone who's watching, maybe who could be in a similar low, not necessarily in prison, but they could be at that really, really low point in their life. They could be in prison. Maybe they're listening from a prison cell right now. What was the biggest turning point for you?
So it was martial arts, and more specifically, my coach became a new model of the world for me. I could respect him because he kind of looked like me and my friends did. He was covered in tattoos, he kind of looked tough, but he'd actually never done crime before. His dad was a sergeant in the police force. He was actually, by the book, he had a business, so he was kind of successful without doing illegal things to have it, so the police couldn't take the money from him. So I'm like, oh wow, this is a way better way to do life. And he could actually fight.
Was this your martial arts coach?
Yeah.
Nice.
He could actually fight, not like how we thought we could fight.
Thought you could fight, yeah. You could scrap. He could fight technical.
Kind of, but even if I could scrap, I was still trying to put everything in my favor and stuff like that. Like I didn't know how to. I was never going to be like, hey, let's fight and let someone know I'm about to fight them, because I didn't know how to fight. But anyway, I really respected this guy, and when I respect someone, I naturally feel like I want to become like them. So I had to be very deliberate around my environment, because I knew I'm like a chameleon. I'll become where I'm hanging out, so let me change where I'm hanging out.
Nice. So I think recognising that, we know that's common knowledge, like we just talked about before, like you surround yourself with who you want to become, but I don't think for a lot of people that is common knowledge. They don't have the awareness to do that, and they hang around the same. My mate Jack, who we met here, was being through a big journey where he was getting involved in the wrong things, and he come away travelling to Copenhagen, and he's like 26, and we had an amazing time and loads of growth happened, but then he went back to Liverpool, and I've been texting him, keeping in touch. And he said, as soon as he got home, basically he's being met with a lot of negativity. And I said to him, prepare yourself that when you've had the most amazing time and you want to tell all your friends when you go home, be prepared. They'll be like, that's cool. They don't even know how to, you try and tell them and explain the things in the journey you've been on. And a lot of them won't even understand, or they're not bothered because they wouldn't do it themselves. So I think, like you say, recognising that where I'm currently at with the circle I'm surrounding with is not working. So either they need to change and you pull them up with you, or you cut ties.
Yeah.
And find a new circle.
Yeah, you can't outgrow a circle that you're standing in the middle of.
Wow.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
I like that. I'll remember that. Okay, cool. Talk me through your perfect day now versus when you were maybe at your lowest or when you were in that rut. What would you, if someone said, what's your perfect day 15 years ago or something versus now, what does it look like for you now?
My perfect day 15 years ago was to just not get pulled over by the police and get busted for whatever thing I was doing at the time. It probably would have got me 20 years.
Wow.
That would have been
and
a win.
That was a good day. That's a win.
Or that enemies didn't run through the house while we were asleep and kidnap us or something like that.
God.
You know, that was pretty
stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it built a resilience in me where I will take any kind of risks when it comes to starting a business, because if it doesn't work out, it's just money.
Yeah.
So it was good for that.
Wow.
What's a perfect day now? A perfect day is when you slow down enough to realize what you've already got.
Nice.
Which could be any of the days if you
Okay.
just took the time to appreciate what you
So
have.
not necessarily what you're doing, because you can enjoy so many things. Is it too specific, that? Okay, cool.
Because things change, and if you need things to be a certain way for it to be perfect, you're going to be unhappy anyway.
Wow. Okay, nice. I like the angle of the answer. Cool. Today's a pretty good day.
Today's a great day.
We've been training martial arts. We were doing a little bit of content. What are we doing next? We're going for a massage. We've got a banana shake.
Yeah.
The girls are out having a girls' day, seeing elephants, and then we'll all meet up for a snorkel. So to me, that's a pretty good day. Yeah. It's a pretty good day.
But there are some people who might have that day and still be miserable because they're not in the moment. They're in their house.
Nice. I really like the response there. What's the vision for the next 10 years? So you're already, what a lot of people would say, really successful. You've got a beautiful family. You're a good guy. You've changed everything that was in the low point. So where do you go from here? What are you aiming towards?
Look after my health, inspire my son, try to be a calm father. That's something that I was never taught as a kid. I didn't have a model of what that looks like. So that's always something that I'm working on, parenting and stuff like that. Have some more kids and just chill out,
Just chill out. Nice. Good man.
Martial arts, I think that's always something. I need something to work towards.
Yeah.
And that's been a good one because it's endless.
Amazing. Thank you. So no more questions, but I would say anyone who's listening now, what would your message for the world be?
Sometimes it doesn't feel this way, but you've honestly most likely only got one chance at this thing. So really think about the kind of life that you want and cut off any other possibility other than that thing happening. And you don't need your parents or your family or anyone else to agree with your decisions because it's your life. You get one crack at it, and I think you should really push it to the edge and see what you can create for yourself, because I, of all people, shouldn't be where I am today. You're probably starting off 10 steps in front of where I was 8 years ago, so imagine what you could create if you're really committed.
Nice. Good man. Thank you.
Cheers.
See you next time. And do you want to plug yourself?
Feel free to.
Instagram.
Yeah, I've got Instagram, Brodie.Nitro, and that's it.
Brodie.Nitro. So thank you for listening. Have an amazing day, and see you next time. Like and subscribe, all that jazz.
Let's go.
If you enjoyed this podcast or found it useful, please be an absolute legend and take just 30 seconds to leave a quick positive review, and don't forget to follow. Have an amazing day.